Hello, everyone. Today's article is titled U.S. Revenge Tax Proposal Alarms Global Investors. It discusses a controversial tax proposal in the U.S. House of Representatives that has triggered concern among foreign investors and multinational companies. Known as Section 899, the plan would impose up to 20% in retaliatory taxes on foreign firms from countries that levy unfair taxes on U.S. companies. It also expands the BEAT provision and could affect income from hedge funds, private equity, and financial services. Supporters argue it will protect American interests, but critics warn it may hurt foreign investment and global capital flows. Let's pause for a moment before we move into the article. Before we examine what happened, it helps to consider a larger theme that gives us context. This will guide how we understand the story that follows. This brings us to today's theme: policy or punishment. Governments use taxation not only to raise revenue, but also to express power and protect domestic interests. But when tax policy targets specific countries or companies, it can blur the line between economic strategy and retaliation. If each country starts taxing in response to perceived unfairness, global business becomes a minefield. What begins as economic protection may gradually evolve into a pattern of punitive action. When does a protective economic measure become an act of retaliation? It depends on intent, communication, and global reaction. In the article, the U.S. proposal isn't just about fairness. It's aimed at countries that tax U.S. firms in ways the U.S. deems excessive. By threatening a punitive tax, lawmakers hope to discourage foreign digital taxes. But the risk is that it backfires, triggering similar taxes elsewhere or scaring off investment. Policies framed as defense can feel like punishment to others. If global markets perceive the U.S. as weaponizing its tax system, the move could isolate American firms instead of protecting them. In the end, punishing others may feel justified, but it can weaken trust and global cooperation. Now, to understand this article better, we need to familiarize ourselves with key vocabulary. We'll go over 3 important expressions, learn their meanings, and see them in action with example sentences. Let's start with retaliatory. It describes an action taken as punishment or in response to harm, often in a political or economic context. In the article, the proposed U.S. tax is described as retaliatory toward countries that tax American firms. Here is an example. The government imposed retaliatory tariffs after its exports were blocked. Next, we have backfire. It means to have the opposite effect of what was intended, especially when a plan ends up causing harm. In the article, critics warn the proposal may backfire by scaring off investors or worsening trade tensions. Here is an example. The marketing campaign backfired and damaged the company's reputation. Finally, let's look at deem. It means to judge or consider something in a particular way. In the article, the U.S. deems some foreign tax policies as unfair and excessive. Here is an example. The board deemed his explanation unsatisfactory and rejected the proposal. Now that we've explored the main themes and vocabulary, let's reinforce our understanding with a summary dictation exercise. Listen carefully and fill in the blanks. A new U.S. tax proposal aims to punish countries that tax U.S. firms unfairly. It could raise taxes on foreign companies operating in the U.S., worrying global investors. Critics fear it may reduce foreign investment and strain international tax relations, impacting firms worldwide. Some experts warn it could trigger a wave of retaliatory measures and trade tensions. Let's check the answers and review what each word means. The first answer is proposal. It refers to a formal suggestion or plan, especially one put forward for discussion or action. The second answer is unfairly. It means in a way that is not just equal or reasonable. The third answer is investment. It refers to the act of putting money into something to gain profit or benefit. The fourth answer is trigger. It means to cause something to begin, especially a sudden or negative reaction. The fifth answer is tensions. It refers to strained relations or increased hostility between groups or countries. Great work, everyone. We explored how tax systems can serve not only as economic tools, but also as instruments of international power and tension. When policies shift from protection to punishment, the result can be global instability. Let's finish with this question. Is it fair to use tax policy as a political tool in international relations? We'll continue this discussion next time. Until then, think critically about where economics ends and politics begins.